Oh gosh,
is pretty unique, pretty different.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
All right. Well, as important as that game was Friday night, there's still more games to be played. And
That's right.
Friday night, as big as that game was,
That's right.
I'm thinking this Friday night's even bigger for both of our teams. Canton goes to Mahia. Van is home against Brownsboro. So
That's right.
You want to talk about
Yeah.
Mahia?
Yeah, Mahia, they're coming off their first win since week 2. If you look at that, they beat Bullard last week, 57-53 in an offensive shootout. So they haven't tasted victory since sometime in September, and they put up a lot. They put up more points than they put up in a long, long time.
And that was quite a comeback. At one point, I think Bullard was ahead by either 14 or 21, and Mahia, I don't know what happened, but apparently the light turned on, and they came back and escaped with a victory. I think that was kind of unforeseen. I think that a lot of people had thought that Bullard would have ended up, with that victory, because Bullard played close with Brownsboro a couple of weeks ago.
They did.
And I've watched Mahia on film even before we were lined up to play them. I watched them when they played Van, and I think I've told you this, TA. They're big.
Mm-hmm.
They're fast. And I know that they've had some issues this year with coaching and school and some
organizational problems.
Right. I don't want them to figure it out this Friday night.
No.
Because they do have the talent. I mean, they beat Van last year, and a bunch of those kids are still on that team. They have the talent, the size, the speed, and everything to be a good football team. I just don't want them to figure it out right now. I'm fine with them figuring it out against Gilmer.
Absolutely.
If Gilmer beats Pleasant Grove, they can go over there and figure it out all they want. I just don't want them to do it this Friday.
We don't need to lose focus.
No.
When you're coming off an emotional high like we were on Friday night, you got to be careful. I know Coach Hubble and his staff will get them focused up, but you don't want to find yourself going over there and letting your guard down and finding yourself behind and then letting them get some momentum going and beat you. You don't want to play. You don't want to play the one seed in that other district. Let's just be honest. So we need to take care of business here. And if you want to look at that other district, it's murderer's row over there.
Mm-hmm.
You got Gilmer, who's ranked 4th in the state. Texarkana Pleasant Grove is 17. Liberty Ilou's 31, and Pittsburgh is 43. That district is set, by the way, unless somehow Pleasant Grove defeats Gilmer. And then 1 and 2 could switch. But it looks pretty solid that if everything happens like it's supposed to, Canton will match up with Pleasant Grove.
Pittsburgh and LE go head-to-head this Friday night, so they're going to decide 3rd and 4th.
Why did I write down they have a bye week, both of them? I don't know. Anyway, but that decides 3rd and 4th then.
Right, so it's kind of the same thing, over here.
Have in our district.
Yeah, we're 1 and 2 will be decided, 3 and 4 will be decided. Now, the next thing, and I don't want to step on your talk about the playoffs and everything, but for Canton, if Pleasant Grove loses to Gilmer, Pleasant Grove's a running team, and I'll Van's success against Canton running the ball. I mean, Jackson Rainey was the running offense too. I mean, he had there was less than 100 yards that weren't his in the whole game.
Right.
So. Canton does better against, a ground and pound, whatever you want to call it, and that is now Pleasant Grove has a running back. I believe he just got an offer from Arkansas, and he plays slot and he plays running back. He's pretty talented, but they still like to run the ball, and I think that Canton would match up better. And then it looks like the next round would be Glen Rose, and then the round after that would likely be Brownsboro or Liberty Ilou. And then if you go over on Van's side, and again, I don't want to step on toes, David,
Go ahead.
But it looks like Van will have a pretty easy first round against.
It'll be a rematch either way.
Yeah.
Right. So let me pull this up right here. So once Van gets through taking care of business on that side, they would likely play the winner of Sunnyvale and Ferris. And unless something – Ferris, that quarterback that played against us that did so well, it's my understanding he got injured and isn't playing right now. So, in worst-case scenario, if Ferris were to beat Glen Rose this Friday, there would be a 3-way tie, and I haven't done the math on theirs, and I'm not sure what their numbers would be. But if it plays out the way it should, it'll be Sunnyvale and Ferris, and Van would get the winner of that. The next round will, in all likelihood, be Gilmer. Be Gilmer that they're playing. I have watched a little bit of film on Gilmer, and after watching Van up close and personal, I think they can beat Gilmer. Now, let me dream for a second. If that happened, and Canton, I think Canton's biggest task is going to be winning first round. Because Glen Rose only beat Hillsboro by 7. And I don't think that – as tough as Gilmer and Pleasant Grove's district is, I think Glen Rose's district is equally weak. So I think Canton's toughest would be the first round, and I think Van's will be the third round. But if that were to happen, wouldn't it be a lot of fun for us to all get together and have a couple of tacos and some –
It could, yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be accused of overhyping something, but if that rematch occurred, we might as well just say that's the biggest game played in the history of Western civilization.
No argument
not to
here.
overhype it or anything.
since the invention of the automobile.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Got some well, let me talk about Van and Brownsburg.
Yeah,
first.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There is a district championship on the line.
Yes,
Right.
there is.
Friday night at Vans Memorial Stadium. And what a great story Brownsboro has been this season. They started out 1-4. They have now won 4 in a row. And they were off last week. And so
I saw him scouting, by the way, over there at Van.
I'm sure they had plenty of representation at the stadium the other night. But, of course, you're going to ask me, what did Coach Moffitt say about if Brownsboro has any advantage going into this game not having played last week? And, of course, I forgot to ask the question. So, you take whatever position you want on that. But the point is that Van will be at home on senior night. And first place on the line against the Brownsboro Bears. And it should be another exciting night. And
could be.
I think if Van comes out strong in the first quarter, doesn't turn the ball over, I think they've got a chance to make a statement here early in the game and maybe get some distance between them and Brownsboro. But Brownsboro's got some weapons. And I'll tell you, the job that their first-year coach has done, Coach Connett, has been nothing short of amazing. They've changed everything at Brownsboro, and it seems to be working out well to this point. Interesting side note to Brownsboro, you guys probably know this already, the defensive coordinator for Brownsboro is the father of the head coach.
Oh,
And I have never heard of that combination before. I've heard situations where the father was the head coach and the son was the defensive coordinator.
It's a Kiffin situation.
And apparently everywhere this head coach has been, his dad has been with him as defensive coordinator.
Interesting.
So they are playing well right now, and they're going to provide quite a test for the Vandals Friday night.
Well, they aren't going to be able to stop the Vandals. They're just not going to. Period.
Now,
so
I'll say this:
they're going to have to score every single possession.
I'll say it this way: if Van has a 6 or 7 turnover game,
that's what they'll have.
It's going to be rough.
We'll see that happening,
to say the least. If Van doesn't have turnovers, then I think it works out the way it should.
Right.
Now, in all fairness, the kid, I forget his name, number 8.
Jaquil Baker.
Jaquil Baker.
Yeah.
He's stud.
If the defensive front for Van gives the quarterback the pressure they gave Canton, I don't think that he's as mobile as Canton, as Brisboe is.
Yeah.
But if they don't get to him,
he can throw it,
and Baker gets open, they're going to have some tough sledding there, because that kid, if he can get the ball in the open field and give him some maneuverability, he's dangerous.
And he proved he can make all the throws, the intermediate throws. He could throw it deep. He really could. If he had time, clean pocket, he could do it.
So the defensive front for Van is going to be, last week the defensive front got back to Brisboe. He just escaped. I mean, there were lots of times that Brisboe got out of some trouble. They got the pressure there, but they're going to have to do that against Brownsboro to prevent the number 8 kid from having a big night.
Yeah, to make him a non-factor, you can't let him have time to get down the field on those vertical routes, or he will, if he gets one-on-one, he'll hurt somebody. He's that kind of player. He's also, he's really good on defense too, man.
Yes.
As a defensive back, he's a ball hawk. He can catch it. But having said all of that, we're going to see in a minute when we get to our picks what I think is going to happen over in Van on Friday night.
And as I mentioned earlier, Van will play, if Van wins Friday night, they will play the loser of Pittsburgh and LE. If Van loses Friday night, they'll play the winner of Pittsburgh and LE. And those two teams are teams that Van has already defeated this year. The LE game was much closer. When Van beat Liberty ILO, it was 27-25. When they beat Pittsburgh, it was 49-12. Both games were on the road. I have some potential early information about sites for next week.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Moffitt told me yesterday, and he says it's not etched in stone. Nothing's going to be finalized until after the games are played Friday night. But I'm paraphrasing what he said, but basically it looks like that the 4 teams in District 7 and the 4 teams in District 8 pretty much have a gentleman's agreement that Longview will be the location for all the games next week. Lobo Stadium and Pine Tree Stadium are going to be available for them.
Yeah.
So you guys may have heard something different. I don't know. But it looks like that whoever we're playing, whatever day we're playing, it looks like it's going to be in Longview.
Well, you can't wait until the game's over to start looking for venues. So
Right.
That's right.
So calls are being made, arrangements are being made. Trust me,
I think
they know.
Yeah, I think what's going to be decided after Friday night is who's going to play on Thursday, who's
Uh-huh.
going to play on Friday, and
That's
who's
it.
going to play on Saturday.
Yeah, that's right. That is right.
So
There's only, there's some desirable playoff venues, and a lot of people are wanting to get those, and so they'll divide those up Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and there'll be a lot of good high school football going on.
And I guess the question would be, what's more desirable, Lobo Stadium or Friday night? I believe personally it would be Friday night, even if it was at Pine Tree instead
well,
of Lobo.
I can tell you what Coach Moffitt prefers. He'll play just about anywhere, but he'll take Friday night.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I would believe.
If
but
you're the favorite, you want Friday night.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're a big-time underdog, you want to get it over with. Let's get this.
And then Saturday is Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
whatever works out there.
Right.
Okay. Anything else we need to cover? I'm going to take one more break on our sponsors, and then we're going to come back and talk about the most talked about segment.
Mm-hmm.
Although this week there's sure been a lot of conversation about the Van Canton game, but
I think we can not talk about this segment if you ask me.
we'll step aside from that game and talk about overs and unders, winners and losers, point spreads. We're going to talk about the pick segment after we recognize our sponsors, and we want to thank Sarah Clayton at State Farm Insurance Agency in Canton, 1164 South Buffalo Street, 903-567-0555. Wills Point Chevrolet, 903-873-2561, 660 Houston Street in Wills Point. We're brought to you by Robertson's Hams, Meats Cured Best, the old-fashioned way. Also, the Red Barn, Catfish and Shrimp. Both of those businesses are located at I-20 and Farm Road 47 South in Wills Point, 903-873-8645. Legacy Ag Credit, financing your legacy. Rural land, country homes, operating capital, farms and ranches, livestock and equipment. 903-567-2251. We're brought to you by UT Health, East Texas Urgent Care, 301 East State Highway 243 in Canton, 903-567-4692. And we're brought to you by Van Zant Farm and Ranch, 118 East Main Street in Van, 903-963-3651. They have feed for horses, dogs, cattle, chicken, wild birds, pigs, fish. They also have gardening items, seeds, and fertilizers. Organic feeds available. I'm David Barber, Van Zant News sports correspondent, joined by T.A. Hale from the Buzz Brothers, the counselor, Joel Elliott, engineer Ken. Kyle Owen's not with us tonight. He's on assignment in Mineola, and he'll be back with us next week. All right, gentlemen, by the way, it was great to hear Ufi live with us last week. I'm sorry he couldn't be with us again tonight.
We finally pinned him down.
But
He was detained tonight.
yes.
How did that catheter repair work out this week?
That business never got off the ground.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I can't wait to
we
hear
tried
the
used catheter services after that. It just never.
All right. Well, let's get into our picks.
Okay.
And TA, I'm going to turn it over to you. Who is our sponsor tonight? I know we have a sponsor that's been with us every week, and then we've had a rotating sponsor. Who is on board tonight with us?
Well, let's just see here. Okay. So tonight's picks are brought to you by Oofy Sportsbook and High School Quarterback Transfer Consultation Business.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So if you have any disgruntled quarterbacks anywhere in the state, then Oofy will consult you about how to navigate the UIL rules and guidelines and make it to another school where you'll probably also be disgruntled.
That's it.
So that's
it's
his
Oofy's portal. Transfer portal.
Okay, all right. One more week left after this one, guys. Let me go ahead and go through last week's results.
Right.
It was a bit of a tough week for the panelists here. Teasy was 1-3. Joel, the counselor, fell on hard times, 0-4. Okay. David, 1-3.
Yeah.
And KO was the first of us to go perfect in a week. He's 4-0.
Wow.
KO, who started off behind, now holds a 2-game lead over
goodness.
second place.
You know, he researches more.
Oh, he does. He does. He knows. He's caught on to this. Okay, without any more delay, you got the 2-6 Fruitville Bobcats versus the 4-2 Leverage Chapel. Leverage Chapel by 40. The total is 79.5. TA takes Fruitvale and the under. Counselor.
I'm going to take Fruitvale. Bear with me.
That half point bothering you on the 79?
Yeah, that's the problem. And I'm going to look at Leverage Chapel. I'm going to go Fruitvale, and I'm going to go with you on the under.
Fruitvale under. David.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to make it a threesome on this. I'm going to say Fruitvale and under.
Okay, 79.5's a lot. Fruitvale and the under. The minus 40 is a lot.
Yep.
But we're saying the Bobcats going to rally and cover that this week.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Good deal. Good deal. All right.
Now that's Fruitvale plus 40, right?
Right. Plus 40.
Okay, so that
They got to get. They got to get within 40. Okay. Game 2, the 0-9 Wills Point Tigers.
Did KO call his picks in?
Yes, I've already got his down.
Are you going? Let's.
Oh, okay. KO took Fruitvale and the under.
Okay.
So everyone took the same on that
Right.
on game 1. Okay. All right. Wills Point Tigers versus the Caddo Mills Foxes. Caddo Mills minus 43. Total 64. TA, Caddo Mills, and the under. Counselor.
I'm going Caddo in the over.
Okay. Caddo over the total. David.
Caddo over.
Okay. Caddo over. And KO took Caddo and the under. All right.
David, we're coming back.
Yeah, I see what y'all are doing here.
Mm-hmm.
You're going all in. Grand Saline, game number 3. The 3-6, the red hot Grand Saline Indians at the 6-3 ARP Tigers. They are Tigers, right? Wildcats.
ARP.
Tigers.
Tigers, I think.
I think they're Tigers.
Okay, probably. ARP minus 13. The total is 60.5. That's an interesting line to me with ARP at 13. I heard y'all talking about that you think Grand Saline's going to win outright. So ARP Grand Saline getting 13 points. TA goes ARP in the over.
I'm going Grand Saline. And let me see what ARP has done here.
I have to admit I cheated off of KO, and so I feel it's fair if I just tell y'all that he took ARP in the over. So that's full disclosure.
I'm taking Grant Saline in the over.
Okay.
Come on, Indians.
I would love that if that happened.
Grant Saline over.
Okay. Grant Saline over. There we go. Moving right along here. Game 4. Your Canton Eagles, 5-4 Canton Eagles at the 2-7 Mejia Black Cats. Canton minus 20.5, and your total is 68. TA's taking Canton and the under. Counselor.
What's KO's?
KO is Canton and the over. Kind of a tough line
That's 64.
there.
The 64.
68.
60. Okay, it's going to be Canton. I'll go over.
Okay.
I don't like it, but
Canton. Oh, okay. No, I get it. But hey, the way they played last week and all the points that they put up, that kind of muddies the water a little bit.
I wouldn't have thought Mejia would score enough for us to get to the over. I would hope there would be a running clock in the second half.
But now you're not so sure.
And what was yours?
I Canton in the under.
There was a running clock when Van played at Mejia in the second half.
They started at the pep rally.
Okay,
Yes.
if they do, I'm going Canton in the under. If that's what they actually will do.
They did that at Mejia.
But are they going to do that on senior night, last game of the season?
No, I don't know.
I'm changing mine to
Oh,
under.
you want under? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going under.
Duly noted.
I am not going to change my mind, Canton and over, because I've seen Mejia. They are horrible.
Okay.
And what did KO pick?
KO said Canton in the over.
And I would not want to be playing Canton this week.
And David's the most positive person that I know on this show. And when he says the Black Cats are horrible, that's gospel.
All I can
He
tell
didn't
you
even
is
sugarcoat it.
I saw him one game in person.
You know what you saw.
And remember the story about the punter and the whiff?
Okay, but here's the deal.
Microcosm of their night.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna throw this in there. I know we're running down on time here.
Okay.
But Canton will sub at the end on defense, and even North Lamar
Certainly.
scored against us. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. I'll give up the loss on that if Canton just skunks them.
Okay. So game 5 here, because Edge was on a bye. This is the last game. The 9-0 Vandals versus the 5-4 Brownsboro Bears. Van minus 27, and the total is 70. A tricky total there because of the running clock possibility if things get out of hand.
You go first.
Okay, TA, the Vandals and over the total. Counselor.
What KO have?
He took Brownsboro and over the total. So I took Van and over the total. So he thinks it's going to be a shootout.
I'm going Van.
It's minus 27. So
And here's the deal. And this is why. KO wasn't there.
yeah,
The Canton-Brownsboro game, what was on the scoreboard
that's a mirage.
is not what really happened.
That's right.
So
That's exactly right.
It's going to be Van. And I don't think Brownsboro's going to run the clock. I think it's going Van in the over.
Is that that's at
It's
Van?
at Van.
It's at Van.
Oh, then,
It's
yeah,
at Van.
it's okay.
okay.
Now, the last time I texted you and asked for you to tell Mr. Dunn to run to not run the clock, he did it anyway.
Van and the over, right? You
Yes,
said Van and over?
I said Van and over.
Okay.
And I'm going to say Van and over. I believe that we're going to see a great night by the Vandals on senior night. I think that defense is going to be much better this week. And I think it's going to be a complete team effort in all three phases, and I think Van's going to take care of business decisively Friday night.
Speaking of Don Dunn, I forgot to tell y'all, Oofy got so mad during the broadcast, he claimed he's going to have Don Dunn kidnapped.
I heard that.
Don's our friend.
He's a great man.
I started to text him my card. Pro bono.
So
Now-
to go back over the season totals, we got TA at 14-28, Joel at 13-29, David at 13-29, KO 16-26. So really still three games separate the whole thing.
And what is KO?
I've got him at 16-26.
Wow.
He's opened a bit of a lead.
Well, 4-0 will do that for you.
It will do that for you. And a big swing when you got 0-4 and I went 1-3. Big swing
Yeah.
there. Okay, there we go. That's that.
let me just give you a word on college football. I've just received this information. The College Football Playoff Committee met today in Grapevine, and they have selected their top 25, but of course the emphasis being on the top 4. Georgia, thank you, sir. Georgia, number 1.
Okay.
Alabama, number 2. Michigan State, number 3.
Okay.
And Oregon, number 4. We'll see how that goes.
Okay.
We know Georgia and Alabama probably are on a collision course here in a few weeks.
Yes.
That was breaking news right there.
There you go.
Yes.
All right, now let's go over our schedule. And reminder that Edgewood is off this week. They do not have a game. We have Brownsboro at Van. We have Canton at Mahia. We have Wills Point at Kettle Mills. We have Grand Saline at home against ARP. And we have Fruitvale at home against Leverage Chapel. And we wish everyone the very best in Van Zandt County.
And before we get off, I know this replays on KMU tomorrow night, right?
Correct. 7 o'clock.
They've changed the rules on the Spirit Stick.
Oh, tell us.
So all of the Canton folks that have been texting in like we've been doing the whole time, that no longer counts.
Can't just text
They
blast them.
will give a shout out for whoever you text in, but that does not count towards the Spirit Stick. Right now, Quitman has 4 wins. We have 4 wins over here in Canton. We're going to go whoop up on Mahia. We've got an hour-and-a-half drive for everybody from Canton to get on their cell phone and call the number at KMU. The texting does not work, and I'm going to give you the number right now. At KMU, you're going to have to call, and it's 903-569-3823. All the Canton fans.
3823.
If we